Hey, what's up guys? John here. This election's been an absolute just mess for everybody. It doesn't matter if you're a Democrat or a Republican. The way that it was handled was just very sloppy. The mainstream media has done everything they could possibly do to exploit every angle to their advantage, to drive in viewers and divide the people. Now in this video, I'm going to focus on things that really matter to us, which is money. How Biden's plan is going to impact us as individuals. Now, if you're a real estate investor or an entrepreneur, or you plan to make a lot of money, listen to this all the way through, because I've never seen anything like this, and I've done so much research into what's to come. So please hit that like button. It's gonna have YouTube share the content. The more people that see it, the more people that are gonna make smart and wise decisions with their investments going forward. All right, guys, let's begin. Now the Democrats control the government. They can really just do anything that they want. It's going to be a free-for-all. And this is going to make it so easy for them to get laws, bills, and aggressive actions taken and really implemented. Now, one of which is called the Green New Deal. We heard about it in debate with Trump, and it was pictured as a way for them to make the environment cleaner, and we only had so long to live. And if we didn't take action now, the damage would be really irreparable, and we would not survive. That was the way that it was depicted. Well, funny enough, AOC's right-hand man, who helped form the Green New Deal, had some other things to say about it. AOC's former chief of staff, Shaikat Chakrabarti, admits that the Green New Deal is not about climate change. He goes on to say that the Green New Deal is to overhaul the entire economy. What does that mean? Overhaul the entire economy. He then goes on and tells the Washington Post that, do you guys think of it as a climate thing? Because we really think of it as a how do you change the entire economy thing. And then he says the interesting thing about the Green New Deal is it wasn't originally a climate thing at all. So it's really fascinating. What is the real motive? Is it to strip away power from the people? It sounds that way, especially when you read about how it connects with real estate and the environment. The cost of this Green New Deal, $600,000 per household in America. 600 grand. Most homes are between 2 and 300,000, so it's twice the cost of a normal house. That is the cost of this Green New Deal. Between 51 and 93 trillion dollars. A massive sum, especially when the average American has between 1 and 5 grand in cash in the bank. Now, what this does to real estate, they want to make commercial real estate owners, 5.6 million commercial buildings upgraded with many new green efficiencies. They essentially have to retrofit them, and it is so expensive. As well as 95 million households throughout America have to retrofit their properties. So the numbers to do something like this, astounding. Let's look at this from a real estate investor's perspective. Let's say that you own a commercial building. It's 50,000 square feet, and the cost to retrofit is between 25 and 150 bucks per square foot. So to just do easy math, 75 bucks a foot is $3,750,000 for one building. $3,750,000. For a condo, what ultimately happens is the entire homeowners association has to divvy up the cost for everyone to pitch in their fair share to get the building brought up to code. A lot of property owners in that building likely won't be able to come up with their fair share. Many will have to panic sell, and ultimately the weight is going to fall on the remaining owner. So a lot of stress could come in the real estate market through the Green New Deal. There's no question about that. So Joe Biden goes on to really increase the taxes. He really wants to increase taxes on people that make over $400,000 a year. So 400K and above, he wants to increase the taxes to 39.6%. But when you add in your state taxes, it can get as high as 62.6% in California, 60% in New Jersey, 58% in New York State, and 62% in New York City. So you factor in these massive increases with the depressed economy that we have right now, as well as the government continues printing so much money. 22% of every single dollar in circulation was printed in 2020 alone, and in 2020 we're expected to print much, much more money. So that 400K is not going to have the same purchasing power 400K did just several years ago. Biden's plan would eliminate the $25,000 exemption from the passive loss rules for rental real estate losses incurred by middle-income individuals. Now, for real estate investors, the 1031 exchange is a great vehicle to grow tremendous wealth. And so how it works is you buy one property at a really good price and then hypothetically sell that property for a large gain. So for an example, you bought a multi-unit property for $1 million, then you sold it for $2 million. There's $1 million gain just for easy math, and you want to go buy another property of like kind. So you defer all the profits into the future, and essentially you can continue doing that forever and never pay any taxes on the gains. People will say that is a really good thing to get rid of it, but the real value add is for the city and for the state, simply because as the property prices sell at higher and higher levels, there's more and more funding for police departments, schools, street services, and for the community. So the community benefits greatly through this. When you get rid of the 1031 exchange, it removes the incentive for real estate developers to go in there and develop and create value in communities. So ultimately, people are going to hold properties longer, and the longer that they hold them, the lower the tax base and the less contributions to the city. It eliminates rules that allow faster depreciation write-offs for certain real property and eliminates qualified business income deductions for profitable real estate activities. So with all this being said, what he's going to ultimately do is likely put stress on the real estate market. For a real estate investor, this could be a good thing. This could ultimately mean that you'll be put in a position to see much more opportunity and much more value in the real estate market, making it much easier for you to drum up a profit as a new investor. Now, if you own single family or multifamily, you are an investor and you intend to pass these assets on to a spouse or to maybe an offspring, what you should be doing now is speaking with a tax professional to do whatever you could do to legally mitigate any type of tax. According to Biden's plan, it says Biden's proposal would tax an asset's unrealized depreciation at transfer, according to the Tax Policy Center. The tax rate is absolutely insane if you're worth $100 million or more. Many people can't fathom being worth that much, but some of you will be. Some of you will be worth that much over time. Maybe 5, 10, 20 years out, you do one good move after the next, and before you know it, you have a massive, massive nest egg worth $100 million or more. So if that is the case, this is what you would be taxed at if you followed the rules through Biden's tax plan. So the value of the original asset per $100 is 43.4%. Value of remaining assets of the estate, 56.60. Biden's tax exemption, 3.5. The taxable estate's 53.10. Biden's estate tax at 45%. The taxes owed to the estate, 23.90. The total taxes paid on the $100 million asset, 67.30. So 67.3% of the total estate would be all issued as tax. 2020 has really taught me a very valuable lesson about taxes and where our money goes. We like to think that they generally go towards infrastructure and helping support our economy and making our economy better and making it more viable for the people that live here. However, with this stimulus package, we see that $1 billion went to the Smithsonian and that a lot of our funding ends up leaving our country and goes elsewhere. So if there are legal tax loopholes and strategies that you can implement to defer taxes or really mitigate them as close to zero as possible, it would be foolish not to exercise these options and see what solution would be best for you. Joe Biden, however, does have some really big plans with stimulus to help people, which is great for the people that need it. Right now, a lot of people do need it because they simply can't work. Many businesses are deemed non-essential. So that stimulus package would do a great deal of relief for many Americans. However, I think the ultimate relief would simply be to have the economy open and let people get back to work. The longer that we are closed, the more pain is going to be felt on small and medium-sized business, and ultimately it's going to hurt mom and pop property owners and business owners. And as that happens, we're going to have much more government dependence, and that is going to ultimately lead to a really big problem. However, he also does intend to help with healthcare, make things a bit more streamlined and affordable for people, which is great. And he has some plans with immigration and other things that he wants to do with America. And I think we're going to definitely see some really, really big changes ahead. However, with big change comes big opportunity. The Rothschilds and many other billionaires always said that you make money when there's blood in the streets. And I think that we're really close to that time. I think we're going to really see some really big changes in the economy in the near future. And when that happens, if you have cash, credit, and the knowledge, you're going to be able to go out there and put all of that to use in the economy and make a really, really large sum of cash. And then ultimately you can continue reinvesting and reinvesting and growing a tremendous net worth for yourself. However, you want to be really careful with speculating. Right now, people are speculating and betting things are going to continue like this. And they generally never do. Things always do change. So be prepared, be knowledgeable, and act with real common sense and kind of remove the emotion from the equation. Simply like I'm doing with this Biden video. No stands for or against Biden, simply looking at how that's going to impact me as an investor and what I can expect. All right, guys, please consider subscribing and hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm. I'll see you guys next video.